A comfortable victory for Manchester United at Old Trafford saw them return to the top of the Barclays WSL. After a tight first half, United took control in the second half. Captain Katie Zelem's penalty and Lucia García and Hayley Ladd's goals delighted the home crowd, whose numbers increased at the women's football weekend. United are back in league action at Theatre of Dreams, the biggest stage since disappointment of losing to Chelsea 2 weeks ago. Despite this, confidence in the squad remained high after Marc Skinner's team reached its first FA Cup semi-finals last weekend. Looking to get title chase back on track, the United manager has chosen strongest roster available. Leah Galton was the most notable returning player, taking her customary left position in her 100th appearance for the club. Despite all their success, United have not been at their free-flowing best in recent weeks, which should have given Paul Konchesky plenty of ammo in his preparations. However, the visiting team came into this game with odds stacked against them. Hammers, who have not been able to win the league since December, are struggling and need to find a spark from somewhere urgently as the goals are about end. Therefore, it will be a relief bring Dagny Brynjarsdóttir's leadership and experience back to the starting lineup after an absence due illness. Encouraged by boisterous atmosphere at Old Trafford, United had control of the ball from whistle, putting together game passages that have been very common from them this season. Ona Battle's run took West Ham by surprise as Ella Toone buzzed with her distinctive energy in the middle of the park. It was on this route that they had their first clear opportunity, as Alessia Russo diverted Battle's whippy middle. The English striker got another chance minutes later, playing from the defense, with a brilliant move from Nikita Parris. But once again he missed the finish. Lucia García rounds out the score in extra time. At LewisFA Despite all his control, United produced a single shot into the goal in the first half, which was one less than their opponents. They were frustrated when surefire chances eluded them and chuckling fouls spoiled the game. West Ham was patient and chose moments to respond. It almost showed up for them when Brynjarsdóttir's height posed trouble for Mary Earps inside the box. In brawl that ensued, Maya Letitia managed to clear the ball from goal line. Quick guide Arsenal beat Spurs in WSL Derby. Show Caitlin Foord duo helped Arsenal warm up to Wednesday's Champions League quarter-finals by beating Tottenham 5-1 in the Women's Super League. Jonas Eidevall's team entered the Derby after losing 1-0 in the first game at Bayern Munich, but they were clinically back at their best with a shimmering show on Brisbane Road. Stina Blackstenius started the course early before Foord, with captains Kim Little and Frida Maanum moving forward despite Bethany England's half-time penalty as Vicky Jepson inflicted a heavy loss on the struggling Spurs. Victory for title hopes Arsenal put them 2 points closer to leaders Chelsea, who visited Manchester City on Sunday. It was a Tottenham home game and a memorable occasion for Kerys Harrop, who was included in the starting lineup and equaled Gilly Flaherty's record of 177 WSL appearances. But the visiting loyalists travelled in numbers from North London. The respite for Corpella to receive treatment gave Tottenham a much-needed break. But normal service quickly resumed and a second goal came for Arsenal. Foord picked up ball from left flank and dribbled at Ashleigh Neville, who came back from 25-yard post 29 minutes later to make situation 2-0. The open was narrowed 6 minutes into the 45th minute when Neville blocked a shot with Katie McCabe's hand and punched into the lower left corner for 12 yards against England. WSL debutante Sabrina D'Angelo, Amy Turner caught McCabe inside field and referee Louise Saunders pointed spot for a second time, while Arsenal captain Little did honour with a powerful shot to roof of net. Eidevall's side scored again 4 minutes later when Foord controlled the back post and fired back. home with a little help from woodworking. More misery would get in the way for Tottenham when Williamson, now in midfield, regained Spence's ball and Monham saw his lobed shot deflected from Bartrip, overtaking Corpella, making the situation 5-1. Substitute Gio Queiroz nearly added a sixth, but his poking effort hit crossbar. And then the trio chased Arsenal went limping for only sour note of a 5-star show. Did this help? The crowd began to get angry when referee Emily Heaslip waved 2 penalty shots from the homeowner. Calls were accurate, with Ladd and Galton falling easily on contact. As half-time approached, deals dried up and West Ham was the happiest between the two. It's plausible that Skinner was far from happy during the break and left his team's locker room early, determined to make things right. It didn't take long for them to find themselves leading in the 52nd minute. Penalties earlier were questionable, but this one was as clear as the day Hawa Sissoko snatched Russo's legs from under him. Zelem confidently stepped up to take his penalty and Old Trafford came to life. From then on, United controlled the transactions and soon doubled their lead. If the first was routine, the second was football at its best after Riza Shimizu was robbed in the middle of the park. Toone took a glance to see substitute Garcia. The Spaniard's first touch was spectacular. His finish evenly passing Mackenzie Arnold, putting his side in tight control. Skip promotion to take action-free weekly informative, passionate, entertaining. Now for our weekly women's soccer roundup. After promotion, an error in midfield caused the home team to finish third as match ended. Having regained ball, United's attack looked brutal as Battle set Ladd at the top of box. The midfielder was in good form all season and marked another good result to consolidate his lead. Before Garcia added a fourth to the downtime. It wasn't always the prettiest, but this victory was another sign of United's progress this season under Skinner. They returned to the top of the table, putting pressure on Chelsea's shoulders when they visit Manchester City on Sunday.